Good evening and welcome to the Mancunian way, where we are going to talk all about Newcastle 3, Manchester City 3 in the Oil Classico. And tonight we've got a number of guests who two have just joined me in the background. I'm going to bring them in a minute. But we've got Pete from PD Proudlock. How are you, mate?
I'm very, very well. I'm still ecstatic after that game. I've got to admit, it was some game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can imagine. If you didn't know, I was on Pete. Pete's been on this channel a couple of times, and I was on his on Friday doing the build-up to Newcastle. We have got Patrick from True City Fan in the house. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Nice to finally see you on camera, Pete. I think me and Pete were talking the other day, but unfortunately, I couldn't be on his channel due to already being on another channel. You know, this YouTube live. But thank you, Martin, and nice to finally meet you, Pete. Is it Pete? Is it Pete? Am I right?
Peter, yeah, you can call me Peter. Pete, PD, Proudlock.
Okay.
They're calling him Salty by the end of this.
Yeah.
And we've got Vader's in the house. I'm bashing it. You can see Vader is in the car. So his internet may be up and down, but he's there. He's here. The man has arrived. And I hope you are well. So we'll just do a quick couple of hellos in the chat because there's already nearly 20 of you in. Thank you. Please share it around. Alec Johnson's in our best, but I'd rather a point of them being Chelsea or, could be worse, could be Chelsea or a United fan. We'll watch replay and cycling to hours home. And your push bike, don't be chasing Pep down, you FIFA. Don't be chasing Pep down in the middle of the night. We were poor. All defenders were all over the place. Rodri, I'm going to get into it all. Rodri, the fullbacks. But let's remember, we have just come back from the 3-1 as well. And we're still undefeated. So let's not turn it into doom and gloom sort of stream. You know, it's I know that's how it feels when City get a point. It's all doom and gloom. But let's give Newcastle a little bit of credit as well here. Very lucky. Sean said very lucky. We'll get into that as well. CM, good evening to you. Big Morgan, how are you? Hope you're good, mate. Lewis Yates is in. Hello, how are you? He's happy. Loving the picture there, mate. And Alan is in the house. I'll take that considering we're 3-1 down. Rodri, Walker, Stones. We'll get into it all. So first of all, let's get the Newcastle perspective first. Pete, you were there.
Yep.
Thoughts on the game? Are you gutted being 3-1 up and pegged back?
I am waiting a little bit, but a point against a very good Manchester City side I'd take all day long. I must admit, I thought we did go into the game. I thought we really gave it an absolute go of it. I mean, Eddie Howe goes with an attacking side. If that's under Bruce, we'll get absolutely battered, about 5 or 6. And I thought we really took the game to us the day as well. I really, really thought we did. But it's, again, I would have taken a point all day. But
I think, didn't you say a point on our preview?
I did. I actually went 2-2.
I did predict both the clean sheet records would disappear.
We knew that was going to end.
Patrick. Cheers for joining us, mate. How did you see the game? I know you've already done your post match over on your channel.
No, I did call for a challenge. I've been saying it since the first game that I want to see this Man City team under a challenge. We were on cruise control in the 2 first games, so I did say I want to see a challenge because we only had 2 preseason games. So here's the challenge. Whenever you speak, maybe God gives you what you're wishing for. So here was a challenge. And as soon as I saw Newcastle's lineup, I think I said it off camera to Carl. I was like, well, I think we're in for a long afternoon here. I think this is going to be a very big battle because I noticed that I think Eddie Howe saw that City keep tucking in the 2 4-backs in. I think he knew that we were going to dominate football, a lot of the ball. Maybe it's good to have the midfielders he had, like Warlock, who was very energetic to sort of take the ball away from City, and then have Saint Maximin isolating at the end, at the wing, touching the wing, so he makes sure that every time he gets the ball, he's 1v1, which made it very difficult for Walker to go help John Stones because Walker was invaded. So every time he tries to get to send, he's already done. Do you get my point? He's already done at all.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, fair play to Eddie, because that's a very good tactic. Because ASM, he's never great when the fullback is next to him because he doesn't think very fast. But today he had all the time. When he gets the ball, he could see Walker all the way from there coming, and he knew exactly what he was going to do. And I liked the fact that he was very effective putting dangerous balls in. So fair play to Newcastle. I think they got their tactics to the teeth, and it was almost a disappointment. But fair play to the boys for coming back from 3-1. Yeah, I know, Martin, you made a comment saying we've always had the mentality, but if you look at some of our games like Southampton, every time we go down like that, we sometimes never end up coming back. So I think the mentality is coming in. You're right. There's a strong mentality, which I like after that Aston Villa game where you're not going to beat a star. Maybe Madrid gave us that a bit of that juice that you never.
We're not talking about Madrid anymore. That's gone. That's in the past. Forget it. Vader, I don't know if he can talk while he's in the car. Talking and driving. How are you, mate? What did you think? What did you think of the team overall? Bernardo right hand side.
Yeah, I was like, let me see what Pep has new to do with Bernardo out there, because he's put in such an amazing shift when he's played in the midfield. So yeah, I think I, like Benny, was like, oh, let me see what he's got cooking here. I thought it was a match that actually pleased City fans and Newcastle fans. The fact that we scored first was great for us, because we're like, okay, we're on board. You know, almost this is the City template: score early, let's go for it. But then Newcastle responds. And the fact that Newcastle responded and went up 3-1, Newcastle fans must have been loving that as well, right? So it goes from everyone being happy to one side being happy, and then I'm watching, and I'll be honest with you. I thought we couldn't afford to give up another goal. I thought we would win that. We would win it today. When by the second half, talking to a few friends, I was like, yeah, I see us scoring, but I didn't think we were going to surrender a goal, and we couldn't afford to.
I think we're just having some
connection.
The result
he's frozen.
In a draw.
He is in Canada,
but
he is in Canada. To be fair,
it was all.
We're just losing you there, Vader. You're just in and out, mate.
That's been a tunnel.
Yeah, Pete, let's come to you while we just sort of get
Vader back.
He's still making his speech. Vader, I think.
No, I'm noticing he is. He's still trying. He's trying. He's really trying here. Pete, your lineup, was any surprise with yours? Because didn't you go the same 11 as you did for Brighton?
We did actually, yes. I thought possibly Target could have come back in if he was fit enough, but he wasn't. So Eddie Howe did go with the same lineup, with Burnett left back, and we did well. It was I didn't really expect much changes from the lineup. I said Eddie Howe would stick with his 4-3-3, and he certainly did do that. And he's not frightened to go with an attacking formation against the bigger teams now.
Yeah. Patrick, the lineup for you, was it just Bernardo you were sort of surprised at? Or
I was surprised, but I didn't feel like other City fans, because I saw other fans, and you could hear on my on the stream earlier, they were not happy with Bernardo. I have seen Bernardo play as a winger in Portugal. I have seen Bernardo play as a winger at Man City, and actually, and he was actually the best winger we had at a point in time when we were on fire and when he was on fire. So I don't know what people are expecting. I think Pep had Bernardo because Bernardo can track back and keep the ball. I think that's what he wanted, but unfortunately, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. That's what I was thinking. I was like, when I saw him in the lineup, I was like, oh yeah, Riyad Mahrez doesn't track back a lot, so he's put in Bernardo because Bernardo can run for days. Maybe Bernardo will help keep ASM quiet, but it didn't work out, as you're right, Wonga, but I was okay with the lineup. Look, at the end of the day, this is what I want to say. I think as City fans, right, sometimes let's just put our hands up and say Newcastle came with a game plan and it worked. Do you get my point? Like, I know that we are good, we're a good team, but I see we have to start accepting that the other guys have come in with a better playbook, because what I've noticed is there's nobody on Twitter who has admitted, or anybody I've spoken to admitted to that, just saying Newcastle were good on the day and they were playing better than us. So it's not always about us, guys. It's not always about City. Sometimes the team opposite us will do better. They'll have a better plan. Because let's be honest, I said it, Martin. I was like, we keep and I'm gonna shut my mouth after this game because I think everything I say keeps jinxing. I said I'm looking for a challenge. Today we got a challenge. I also was saying, you know what? Somebody's gonna figure us out with these four backs that are attacking in. Today it happened. So Newcastle managed to figure out a way to play against these attacking in four backs. Fair play to them. Good gameplay, Martin. I can say from Eddie Howe, and I think we just have to hold our hands up that regardless the lineup. Let's be honest, Martin. That lineup can still beat a lot of teams. That lineup we had, it's a very strong lineup. Yeah.
I think we've got to. I think what's been forgotten here, and to Pete's probably even noticing this, Newcastle's actual play has all been forgotten about, and it's all how bad City were and the mistakes City were. And sometimes you've got to remember you're facing a team that is in a good vein of form and has been in a good vein of form since probably January last year. I think they're like third or fourth in the form table. If Pete, am I right? If we ended the season
like that.
from January onwards, you're in the top four. So you've got to realise that Eddie Howe's brought a togetherness there after the Ashley and Bruce debacle, and he's got them flying. He's got ASM totally changed round for me because ASM looked like a dead player wetting out the door and finished under Bruce for me. Don't know what you think, Pete, but I thought he was exceptional for you today, and he's completely been turned around by Eddie Howe.
Yep, he certainly has. I mean, we were very critical of ASM, like holding on the ball for too long when he could set up a pass or he knew he could create an opportunity. I think Eddie Howe has been having possibly some words with him because he can do that. And that's exactly what I saw from out there the day from him, which he set 2 of our goals up as well. And I thought he was my man of the match today for Newcastle. Man City just couldn't cope with him at times. The way he just, I thought some of the Man City players were really, really frightened when he was on the ball. The way he was getting past them and taking players on and setting up the chances and the goals we managed to score.
Yeah. I mean, it started so brilliant for us. You must have been sat there, Pete, thinking, this is going to be a long afternoon. We're 5 minutes in and City are 1-0 up through Ilkay. And can I just say on that goal, for someone who's 31-32, starts the actual whole move in his own half, deep in his own half, runs the length of the field and gets on the end of a cross, which I'll be honest with you, I was a bit surprised none of your men were anywhere within 5 yards of it. Talk about open space. And the thing was with the shot, it was a good finish, but it was a bit scruffy. It was not a perfectly hit. I mean, we'll talk about Haaland's absolute amazing volley later on, but you think to yourself, should have Gundogan have been allowed to get that far unchallenged?
He shouldn't have, in my opinion. I think the defenders have got to be doing a job. I mean, a midfielder to come all the way from far back to come right into the box and no one's tracking him is very disappointing. I've got to I mean, defending's not fantastic. It's not great at all from that. So that is a goal we could have possibly prevented.
You must be sat there going, where's he going? He's not. Yeah. He's just going. He's going. And no one's watching him.
Yep, that was disappointing for me.
He's peeling off, celebrating, and you must be thinking, 5 minutes in, long day now.
I was a little bit at first, but I thought we've got to try. I had that feeling we would start to grow into the game, and we actually did. Of course, Eddie Howe would have said to the players as well, definitely don't give up. Just keep going and going and going. We can do something, and that's what we did when we fell behind.
Yeah. Patrick, Did you think going up so early, you thought, oh, we're in the money here and away we go? Or
Yeah, like as I said, I was like Martin. For me, I look at certain teams and say this might be a long day for us. I am like I was scared of Newcastle, as I said, because of looking at that team and the team they put out. Then when we scored, I was like, maybe I've been wrong. Maybe that cruise control, we are actually that great or that good. And as soon as I walked out to go collect something, that's 1-1. Then I was like, oh, game on. But I thought it was going to be cruise control again. And I was like, okay, maybe this team is actually very good right now. But yeah, it was a very easy goal. I was like, no way. I was like, no, Newcastle has improved. No way they're doing these schoolboy mistakes again. And because he went there so easy, isn't it? There was a point where in time where when I think you could even see from his face that am I actually here? Do you like what you could see from his face before he kicked you that am I just alone like this? But I guess it was a good pass by Bernardo. Let's give credit to Bernardo because everybody seems to be going towards Bernardo. And again,
everyone thought the overlap from Kevin. Everyone thought he was going to Kevin on the overlap.
Yeah, and
he
again,
sort of come inside, and
yeah,
it sort of threw the Newcastle defenders off.
Yeah, and
they
again,
were all
you see,
following Kevin.
Yeah, and you see, here's another thing, Martin. If you watch the clip, this is what I've noticed. I think Newcastle didn't notice that. Let's stop doing this. They were doing what every team is doing. They follow what's his name, Haaland too. Because if you look at your defenders, some of them were all over Haaland, or trying to get to Haaland, and they left Gundo alone. So, but at the end of the day, after that, I think that was the only time we saw him on. I think he did it at the second time he went in, but it was offside. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be easy from there. I was like, maybe we're gonna cruise again because it's in 5 minutes. But anyway, Newcastle came back into the game, and I somehow knew that the pressure will eventually lead to a goal. By the way, if Jack, you ever saw this stream, Jack, there you go. Amarish has answered your joke. It had to be him to score after Jack said, "You're playing as Amarish." Now he scored, so it had to be him.
Well, funnily enough, Pete, you mentioned that in the preview on Friday to me. And I thought, oh no, he's going to play. Now, obviously, Jack was injured, so he couldn't play.
Oh, he was.
He'd probably done a fashion show for Gucci and couldn't get out the door or something. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, he didn't play. And I've got to say, I thought it was a nice finish. There was obviously qualms of offside. There was questions about handball at the time. Everyone, because all our defenders in Edison stopped. That was so weird about that equaliser. Great for you, but from our point of view, everyone stopped. It was like freeze frame, and everyone just went. Obviously, the flag had gone up, and VAR, who played a massive role in this game, which we will get onto shortly, made the right call. No qualms about it. He was onside. It wasn't handball. Sort of chested it in past Edison, and to be honest, I thought you deserved 1-1 at that time.
Yeah, I thought we definitely did because we did start to come back into the game. It's definitely not offside, the goal. It really, really wasn't. I think that is just really poor defending from Manchester City, from a Manchester City's point of view. I mean, this not to mention the kind of space he got as well. And that is very disappointing for Manchester City, I must admit, to have him.
Did it help Aki going off? Did you think when Aki went off and Diaz was on, or was you not bothered by that? Did you think that isn't going to help us?
I wasn't really thinking that because I thought we were still taking the game of his tears as well. But I mean, what was he? Did he pick up an injury, Aki?
Yeah, he picked up a groin injury.
All right, so
he tried to stay on, but I think the pressure St. Maximin was putting on, and I just think he thought, no, it's one of them. You take him off now, and it's not a full tear; it's a bit of a slight, and you go right, couple of weeks, a week maybe, or do you play him on? He gets a full tear, and he's out for 4 to 5 weeks. You've got to judge it, and at the time, to be totally honest with you, you were in full flow of the game and gone. I'm gonna get into the Foden stuff because, and Pete, it'd be great to hear this from your perspective. There's a lot of stuff being said about Phil Foden because he didn't make the pass to Haaland. Yes, now for me, just bear me out for a minute or two. and let me explain my perspective on it, and then you two can go wild in the aisles for it. For me, if you look at that chance, there was a chance 5-10 minutes earlier, very similar, where Haaland wins the ball, he shows his strength and plays a delightful little through ball to Kevin. And Kevin's away. Now, Kevin's going down the right-hand side. And if you look, Haaland then makes the run into the box at the back post. But instead of passing to Haaland, Kevin goes for the shot, which is, it wasn't his best shot. It was a bit weak. But then Foden does the exact same thing on the left-hand side with a Newcastle defender next to him, which, if I'm honest, if he squares it to Haaland, if you watch it back, I think the Newcastle man clears it out, if I'm honest with you. I don't think it even gets to Haaland. But because Foden shoots, a whole lot of rain has come down on Phil Foden's head that he's got to learn. My only issue is Kevin did the exact same thing 10 minutes earlier. And now it was said. Because everyone's forgotten about that Kevin chance literally 10 minutes earlier where he fires it. I mean, from your point of view, I know we'll get into Patrick's and everyone in the chat. Did you think Foden should have squared it, or do you think he was right to shoot?
It's a funny one, isn't it? I think if he definitely could see Haaland in the and make a clear pass to Haaland, he should be looking to do that as well, rather than try to go for the near post where Pope's got it covered. Because if he passes that to Haaland, he could have still stuck it in the back of the net. I mean, his goal he scored for Manchester City second was superb, I've got to admit. But yeah, I think he should be looking to square that to Haaland. But even De Bruyne should have done the same as well. But that's a bit strange, like they're talking about one but not the other. They should talk about both of them.
But that's what's happening now. Do you remember the KDB? Patrick, do you remember that Kevin chance? When Haaland, if you look, plays him, but then runs to the back, but nothing's been said about the Haaland one.
Because I'm going to explain to you, Martin. The thing about fans, right? Fans have got somebody who they'll give a pass. And I've noticed it in the City team. There's a lot of free passes that get given. And it's quite funny because when you go after somebody in the team, like yourself, let's say as a YouTuber, you're analyzing a situation, right? You say that so-and-so did this, but some people come at you like, no, that's not true. But they will back somebody else just because that's their guy. What I've noticed is somebody once told me when I was actually having a debate, say, De Bruyne has got so much credit in the bank, you can't say any criticism towards him. So I said, okay, so you're trying to tell me that if De Bruyne drops a stinker, I can't come back and say De Bruyne dropped a stinker? He's like, no. Or for what he's done for us, you can't. So I said, so what makes me laugh is, so you have credit in the bank. It means you can drop stinker after stinker or make mistakes. You can't, but other people want. Because let's be honest, where is Foden's credit in the bank? He took us to the UCL final by scoring in the Dortmund game, in the PSG game, and he balled in those two games. If you talk about like the UCL games, people keep pointing fingers. I remember, like I was also one of them. But if you look at our Champions League games, De Bruyne also drops stinkers sometimes. Even Gundogan drops stinkers. Where Bernardo drops stinkers. But I have noticed his pick and choose. I think the only reason why people are more pointing fingers at Foden, I don't think it's also because of this match. I think they're taking the hate from the other match. You know, the other match we played where he could have squared it to their man Haaland. And I can also say,
forgetting the ball.
Yeah. So you know what, Martin? I can also say this. I think City fans, they want Haaland to succeed so much. I think they want Haaland to succeed a lot. Like, I also want him to succeed. They want to make sure he scores. You know that? They want to make sure that he succeeds so they can come out and say, we told you so.
Because I'll be honest with you, I do it. Because to me, I did it today. I'm sat there, and when Haaland played that ball to Kevin, I'm like, I want it to be the other way around. I don't want Haaland to lay Kevin on. I want Kevin to be laying Haaland on.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Thing is, I mean, people have said it was an easy pass. I've watched it 2 or 3 times now. I'm absolutely certain from my point of view. I think that Newcastle defender box, that shot, that cross out, he's too close. If you go back to the Bournemouth game, yes, have a go at Foden. Foden has nobody around him within 10 yards. There's literally Haaland on his own, Foden on his own, and he just has to go ping. This is different. A Newcastle guy is like there with him. All he has to do is slide, stick his leg out, and that cross is gone. So I don't think it's. Everyone said, "Oh, it's a tap in." I'm not 100%. I think it's totally different from last week. A little bit, I do. But again, I get why people are annoyed. But you got to remember, Foden hasn't been on pre-season. Foden went to where did Croatia with the EDS?
Croatia with the EDS. Yeah, they went somewhere else.
I don't know if you know.
I actually have it here, Martin. Martin, I have a screenshot. If you want to share that, maybe we should.
Yeah, look. If you look at this here, that's Friday. That's the other day.
Yeah, Bournemouth. Yeah,
Bournemouth. Look, nobody around there at all. Foden's got the freedom in the Etihad. Here, I'm honestly thinking this Newcastle. Who's that guy, Pete?
Which one?
That guy on the where I'm not sure we can see my arrow.
Next to Foden. Next to Foden.
This, I think he stretches out his leg. You've got the man here. The man, all he has to do is stretch, and that is possibly blocked out. I'm not saying it is. There's the 6-yard box. The ball goes there. I'm not saying it wasn't easy. I'm just saying that and that is not the same. He's under pressure there, Foden. There, he could have a cup of tea, a sandwich, and a whatever he wants.
Yeah, the first one we can smoke him for that one.
Yeah,
the first
there's no Bournemouth player near him. But on that one, lot tighter. In my opinion, you might think I'm wrong. Maybe I'm doing Foden a disservice that he hasn't got the quality to get that in before the Newcastle man does. But that's just what I think. Thank you for that, Patrick. And then you go 2-1 up, Pete. Which I thought was a poor goal from us to concede. Was lovely build-up by you, but I thought it was poor defending from us. I thought the way I think Diaz has had a very shaky start to the season, but that's not just this season. Diaz was a bit shaky last season. This is the Diaz we had 12 months ago, if you know what I mean, who won Player of the Year and Defender of the Year and everything else. But Cancelo, we know, because Cancelo and Walker are in, because you've got to remember, they're not out wide. They've come inside now, which Pep likes to do. Invert, come inside, which, by the way, I'll get on to Rodri in a bit, because I think that massively affected Rodri today. Massively, because I thought Rodri was awful today. He was awful, but I think there's reasons behind that. Bernardo was one, being out wide, not coming back, and 2 was having Walker and Cancelo both inside, which doesn't normally happen. But lovely finish by. I mean, I had some Newcastle fans, Pete, really worried about Callum Wilson. They're like, we need a striker. Great finish. Great finish.
I think that they want a backup striker because Callum Wilson is known to be quite injury prone at times, and I still have that for he's going to pick an injury up, which could face him on the side of could maybe put him on the sidelines for a little bit, which hopefully it doesn't. But because the only option we've got after that is Chris Wood, and Chris Wood has just not impressed me. I'm
not allowed to mention Chris Wood on this channel.
God. I mean, Chris Wood's not. He's just not impressed me at all there, Chris Wood. I thought he came on. His holder play wasn't too bad, but where's the goals from him? I mean, he's only scored 2 goals since he signed for us, which is very disappointing in my opinion. And his holder play's been all over the place as well. I think we just want a backup striker if Callum Wilson is going to pick up a serious injury this season, which is the thing.
And I'll be honest with you, Pete, I thought you would deserve 2-1 up at that point. Patrick, Edison's getting all the shtick at the moment. sadly. Can I just make a point on Edison? Take Edison out of our team, you take Pep Ball out of our team. Without Edison, Pep Ball doesn't happen. You have to get Pep's tactics and to get his football, you sadly do have to sacrifice something. You're not. Joe Hart was a better shot stopper than Edison, but he sacrificed him because of his ball distribution. So can we just remember that when we get Edison out of the team, get Edison out of the club, blah, blah, blah. Not saying anyone in the chat has done that, but literally, some of the slander that has come on Edison in the last sort of 2 hours has been slanderous. It's been, yes, can he improve at shot stopping? Yeah. But can we also give a little bit of credit to Newcastle? We'll get onto the free kick soon. If anyone thinks a goalkeeper saving that free kick, well, sorry, no chance. Patrick, Edison, could he have saved it for you, or are people just going again?
You know, I've been watching our fan base, and I have never seen anybody, and I repeat this, no offense to people, anybody who has a sort of a face to their account, or somebody who I have spoken to before, or somebody who speaks very reasonable or very good football, say anything about Edison. But what I've noticed is there's a lot of FIFA players out there. I'm a FIFA player, but I know the FIFA players I'm talking about, they are FIFA merchants. They think as soon as a player does something, oh, you're 1v1, you're GA, you're this, you're that. That's what they go for stats. They forget that we were struggling when Edison wasn't in this team, when there were other keepers who were getting pressed. They forget all that, and they still forget the amount of times where Edison has saved a 1v1 or saved us when he comes out of his goal. Yes, that's the thing about Edison. Because he comes out of his goal, he doesn't stay in his goal. He's a sweeper keeper. That's what Pep is looking for. He will look stupid sometimes when he comes out and the player dinks it over him or a player dribbles him. It's part of the game. If you look at Manuel Neuer in Germany, things like that have happened to him before, where he's looked silly. He's come out thinking he'll get the ball, and the player puts it over him and scores, and people are like, "Oh, look at Neuer." But that's what happens. And this thing about Edison is quite funny, because if you want to make fun of Edison, then let's start pointing at keepers like Mendy, who made a very funny mistake today. But you don't see Chelsea fans saying anything about Mendy. You know why? Because they know that Kepa was worse and they struggled. Without Edison, as Martin says, that Pep system doesn't work. Where are you going to find a keeper who's so calm to pass you the ball? And the thing about other people is, Edison used to save a lot at Benfica. He was a very good shot stopper there at Benfica. But here, you guys have seen pictures of Edison halfway line. Martin, you've gone to the stadium. You've seen Edison sitting on the halfway line. We have so much possession of the ball. A keeper gets bored, and sometimes you can get caught off guard. But I've seen Edison save nice shots. I know people are pointing at Nick Pope saying, "Oh, but Nick Pope comes from a team where people were shooting at him multiple times that he has to get with that." I don't know if people understand. Without Edison, you are going to be the same people coming back saying, "Oh my God, Edison back." Do you remember last season, Martin? They were saying they wanted Stefan in goal. Do you remember seasons ago? They were like, "Let's get Stefan. He's a shot stopper." What happened to Stefan when he got pressed? He embarrassed himself, and the same people said Stefan out. Now, you same guys now want Ortega to come in. Ortega is good with his feet, but not as good as Edison. If Ortega gets pressed and makes a mistake, you will be the same guy saying, "Oh, get Ortega out." How many keepers are you going to finish? You're going to have to just accept Edison as your first choice. Yeah.
I know it was his debut, but go back to the Club America game. Ortega was a bit sloppy with that goal as well, if I'm honest. But no one ever said anything because it was his first game. And it's pre-season. You don't want to dig out players' first game in. A goalkeeping is Pete, are some City fans overreacting, or did you, when you saw Edison running out of goal and doing his antics, is it to you, from as an outsider's point of view, do you see Edison as crucial to City, or do you think, oh, good day here, we'll shoot on goal and it's in?
I think Edison's definitely one of the top quality goalkeepers I've seen in the Premier League. And I mean, because who was the I remember because was it Bravo you had last season as well? Who was
Stack, Stefan
before?
and Edison. We had
Oh,
Bravo.
Stephanie. Bravo was
Bravo
the
was 4
was
years
after Joe
ago.
Hart.
Oh yeah. I mean, because I remember he was just coming to the end of his career at that point. Yeah, from Edison, he's an important player to us because I think he is a world class goalkeeper. I think he wasn't kind of helped with the defense, with the poor defending as well. So that kind of affects his game in a way as well. But take nothing away from him. I think he's still a top quality goalkeeper, Edison.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. So half time, we're 2-1 down. No changes by Pep at half time. Did you make any changes? I can't remember whether you did, Pete, or not.
No, we did. Our first sub
Don't
was
think you
in
did.
the 69th minute with Chris Wood. That was the first
Yeah.
person who came on.
And then we're 3-1 down by an absolute beauty of a free kick by our former EDS boy, Kieran Trippier. Again, anyone who's a City fan knows all players like to score against us. It's just a fact of life. If we got Stoke City in the FA Cup and Delap was allowed to play, he'd score an hat-trick. It's just the way we are. All players score against us, sadly. I don't know why, they just do. But no one's saving that. That is a top quality free kick, that Pete, isn't it?
It certainly is, isn't it? And he's known to do it, not just for Newcastle, but he's done it for England as well. Take the one back against Croatia, even though we got knocked out the semi-final.
Yeah.
He could certainly take a set piece, whether it's a free kick or a corner. But yeah, no one is definitely saving that at all. And I was actually very, very confident that he was going to bury that.
Was you?
Oh, actually, yeah, I was.
From that far with that precision, with everything you thought.
I just thought the fans were backing him, and I thought, I think he's going to bury this, and he certainly did. I had that confidence he was definitely going to bury that.
You could tell, isn't it? The way he was standing there.
Yep.
And the way he said something like, I'm sure. Like he said to the other guy who was next to him, I don't remember. But you can see he said something like, I'm sure. And I sat there, I was like, he looks overly confident. And he looks like he's looking at one spot. You know what I mean? Like he's looking at that spot over there. But I don't get people, Martin. How do you save that? Even the announcer said, you don't save that. It's either you stand. It's either the keeper just stands on one place and looks at it.
Because the daggers were already out for Edison. They were already out at that point. You got to remember, Manchester City don't generally go 3-1 down in games. And when we go 3-1 down, excuse my language, generally the shit hits the fan and everyone hits panic buttons. And everyone starts going, what are we doing 3-1 down? We should be 3-1 up. And it's a mentality judgment then. And it becomes a mental battle then. And what you do, instead of going, do you know what? We've made a couple of tactical errors here today. Newcastle are playing out the skins. They have to find a scapegoat. They have to find blame. So it becomes this in, it becomes him, And it's just because then as fan base, we are now not used to that position. Whereas Pete, for example, was like City fans 15 years ago, a year ago, where if anything could go wrong, it all goes wrong and it's all Ashley's fault. United at the minute, they get beat 5-0, it's the Glazers' fault. Everyone has to find somebody to go at. It's human nature. It's what we do. We have to have a scapegoat in our lives because we never look in a mirror. We never blame ourselves. It's just what we don't do.
Right. So it's lazy. So it's sort of a lazy thing to do, isn't it? So lazy.
Yeah. At 3-1, is the game over for you, Patrick or Pete? Did you think you won it? You thought we'd lost it?
No, I wasn't actually, because I thought City, they've still got quality in the side. They're going to find a way to get back into this game. And that is exactly what happened. That wasn't confident that the game was done and dusted, unfortunately. If it was against a team in the bottom half of the table, then yes, possibly I would probably say against Manchester United if that's who we were playing as well.
Man United. We call them Man United here. We're Manchester City and they're Man United.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think if that's not against you, I think we're winning that game. But no, I wasn't. having that open, I think Man City could still find a way to get back into this side because they're a quality side, and I mean, and it just showed when Haaland pulled the goal back.
Well, before we get there, I want to bring up the big talking point of the game. Now, I know you've done a reaction video, a very short one, Pete. Please go back and give Pete's channel a follow and a subscribe. Same with Patrick, True City, and go and show him some love as well. Get over, subscribe as well. There was a red card that should have been a red card, but wasn't a red card. It was overturned. Now, you said, Pete, you thought that it wasn't a red card on one of your reactions. I'm just going to throw the evidence out before anyone goes on. Right, let me get your initial reactions. Pete, in the ground, was you all shocked the red had been shown to Kieran Trippier?
Yes, it really, really was. I've seen other players do it against other teams, and they've not been red carded. I've seen them just get away with a yellow. I mean, I really have, and I'm thinking, I think Trippier had no choice but to do it because De Bruyne was
gone.
He was gone. Yeah, so he's trying all his best to try and stop him, obviously. But I've seen those before, and they've been given in a yellow. So, but as he said, everyone's gonna have a different opinion on that, which I truly respect. So, again, if not everyone's gonna say it wasn't a red or it was a definite red, there's going to be a lot of mixed opinions on this as
Patrick, did you think it was a red and was you shocked when it was overturned?
Yeah, I think it was. You know, I'm not even just saying this because I'm a City fan, but I looked at the video again, and quite funny enough, both his legs were off the ground. He went all in. He went like it's a
depending on what pitch you're being shown.
Yeah, but the thing is,
the way you all in a minute.
Yeah, the way he went at it. But I saw. Okay, obviously because you're at home and you're watching the TV, but when they slowed it down, and even when it happened, that was a bit rushed from him. Like, I know you clip somebody. The players use it. I used to play football, and they used to tell you to clip the boot at the back. So you clip him at the boot at the back. In that way, you don't push your stand up. So I remember my coach used to tell us, if you see a player is off, hold the shirt, or just clip him, as if, like when those games we used to play as kids where you clip somebody's leg at the back. So that's what I was thinking. But he went there with a bit of force. To be honest with you, I think he got lucky. That maybe VAR came back and said, look at it, or maybe said, look. But I think overall, the ref had to have the courage to. I think if it was at the Etihad, I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't at Newcastle, I think he's sticking to that red. I think he only changed the red because it was at the Newcastle ground. That's my say.
Okay,
let's see the pictures and evidence.
Before I show this up to you, if that was one of us and one of your boys, you wanted a red.
Well, possibly, but it wouldn't have surprised me if that got overturned as well. Because again, I've just said I've seen it before in other games, and they've got away with it. They've got away with it. They haven't been shown a red card, bro.
I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm not trying to, anything. So again, as a Newcastle fan, you're going to not red. No, I've even heard some say it's an orange. To let you know, there's no such thing as an orange card. Can we get this orange card out of play? We're not in the what's ifs and maybes section here. There is no orange card until they bring in an orange card. There is no orange card. This is the image that was shown to everybody, from the Sun, Terry Flowers, Daily Mail. Everyone went with this image, which you can see on camera. Kieran Trippier is now tackling at his ankle with one knee on the floor. That is not what KDB or City fans are claiming was the red card. This is what they're claiming is the red card offence. Now you're at two different issues. In this image, you're 2 feet up off the ground and you're at knee height. And the actual FA rule is violent conduct is when a player uses or attempts to use excessive force or brutally against an opponent when not challenging the ball or against a teammate, team official, match official, spectator, blah, blah. So, you know, if you're going to do an Eric Cantona and Kung Fu kick at Sellers Park. In addition, a player who, when not challenging for the ball, deliberately strikes an opponent or any other person on the head or the face, which we know. Now it says serious foul play. This is where we're getting into the realms of, is it serious foul play, is it violent conduct? Serious foul play, according to the FA rule book, is a tackle or a challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent, or not both, doesn't have to be both. This is the key part. Or uses start again. So the first part can be a tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutally. So I go back to Exhibit B. 2 feet off the ground, knee height. Last time I checked, I've never been taught to tackle at knee height. Now, the thing we get told with the handball rule is it doesn't matter whether it's handball deliberately or not. If it touches his hand, it's handball. What happens change that? That's all I'm saying. That's all my debate is something was said, because the excuse I've heard is it wasn't deliberate, there wasn't excessive force. Have we got to wait for someone to break legs or do knee ligaments before it's a red card out?
What they said it wasn't. Sorry, they said it wasn't deliberate. I thought that was deliberately done to stop the counter, right?
No, the words are. I think when they say deliberate, they mean deliberately try and injure someone. Don't think it's deliberate foul. They're trying to deliberately hurt them, is what they're saying.
Okay, so wait, like this is what I'm gonna have to ask the Prem to make it clear for us. So when is it deliberately hurting somebody? Because if you're deliberately trying to stop a counter, you've gone all in. You're going all in to stop that counter. So if you hurt somebody, like he did, but I think, do you know where he also got lucky, Martin? I think he got lucky because De Bruyne stood up fast also. I think if De Bruyne doesn't stand up early as he did, because De Bruyne was pissed off, I think De Bruyne stays on the ground, continues staying on the ground. I think not going to negotiate on that, right? I think it's the fact that he stood up and you're still walking and you're pissed off. Do you know what I mean? So I think Martin has done his homework.
Hey, it's because I was debating someone. Listen, I get it's done now and it's over with. I was just wanting to bring it up. Just say, because I've heard people say City fans are being salty. Nothing to do with that. It's if you're going to show images, please show the correct ones. Don't change them. Don't change them to suit your argument. Let's get the correct images. Happened to us ages ago with BT Sport when we got an handball goal against Tottenham, and they didn't want to show the correct images to the broadcasters. Wouldn't give the referee the correct image.
Oh, you mean
they
the Everton one?
It at the other angle, but Llorente putting the ball in with his hand, where there was literally one of them that actually showed Llorente going ball in with his arm, and they never showed it to the BT. BT would never give the referee the actual real images. It was just what suited them.
Can I ask you, Martin, what about that Everton one we got with Audrey? Do you think we got away with one? I still think we got away with one. You know, the one that Rodri hit it with his hand. Do you think we got away with one, or do you think it was just angles? What do you think? We got away with one, didn't we? You know the Everton.
We got away with one. Of course we did.
Did you see the angles too? People are showing the angle.
I'm not bothered. I know we got away with one. I put my hand up. We got away with one. I know. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be pissed off to high heaven. And then obviously we carry on. It comes to Haaland. What a finish! Whoa.
It is.
I mean, you were saying, Pete, that is some finish. I know it's only 3 yards out.
I know,
but it's on the volley.
Oh yeah, the way he's just put his he's just put his boot through that ball and it's just rifled into the back of there. It was like, I mean, you've done absolutely brilliant to get a player of that quality in your side, and he's he's definitely going to score. I think he's going to guarantee. He's got an opportunity of possible 20-odd goals a season if he's going to score goals like that as well. I think he could be looking at 20-odd goals for Haaland this season.
Yeah. I've got him down as top goal scorer. Whether I get that right, Patrick, 3 games, 3 goals, assist. Not bad for a flop.
Yeah, not bad for a guy who was called the white Lukaku, according to Chelsea fans and other few people. I don't know why I don't know where people get these names. I don't know, Martin, where people sit down and say the Spanish Andy Cow, the Latino Andy Cow, who is Nunes, apparently. Everybody has got a name for somebody. Guys, at the end of the day, Haaland wants to improve. I appreciate the fact that the first West Ham game, he had few touches, but he scored with his touches, the ones he had. Second game, he had few touches, but he had an assist. Now he's improved. You saw today he was more involved in the game. He knew that Newcastle would sit back certain times. He could have scored, but I think Haaland could have had a few today. But Nick Pope, my God, hats off to him, man. Nick Pope, I always knew this is the number 1 for England. And I always asked Chelsea. Yeah, I always asked Chelsea fans. No, not Chelsea. I asked Everton fans that why do you guys keep on having a keeper, the one you have, instead of buying Nick Pope? I always ask them that because I think if they got rid of him and just put Nick Pope in that Everton team, they at least have a bit of confidence. But fair play to you guys, Peter, for bringing Nick Pope, because I didn't know. I thought Haaland just hit the post. I didn't know he caught that. He touched it with the tip of his arms to push it away. So Haaland was amazing, Martin. And that goal of his, that's what we've been missing, where there's a scruffy situation and you need somebody to be at the right place. Yeah. And can we talk about the fact that this Haaland kid, defenders can be in front of him, but he managed to go over you. As soon as the through ball is gone, a defender was in front of him again, like West Ham, but he got there and the defender tried to muscle him off. And Botman is not a small guy. He managed him. I don't know if it was deep, but no, you can't. So
Pete was there live, Newcastle fan.
Peter, how does it look when you're there watching him?
He looks quality, doesn't he? He's like all over the pitch in terms of what he does. I mean, he's just lightning as a striker, isn't he? Haaland, and he's really going to cut in this Premier League. He really, really is.
No, you're not having him. You're not having him. You're
going no.
Do you know what the scary thing is? You've been quoted 30 to 35 million for Pedro at Watford. And for 15 million quid more, we got Haaland. That is mad. That just shows how cheap we got Haaland for. I mean, Alan is put. It was a tap in. Alan, you couldn't score that goal when you were 19 years old and 10 stone lighter. You'd have no chance. Because I'm telling you now, Alan, you'd never get your foot back enough that to hit it on the volley. No chance. It was a tap in.
Wait a minute. People are going after him saying it's a tap in. Did you see that goal?
But he's put through
volleyed it. He's not tapped it. He's volleyed it in at like 100 miles an hour. It was a tap in. Get off. Oh dear. There's some funny ones. Anyway, at 3-2, Pete, did you think it was inevitable? Or was you like, just cling at this point?
Nah, I just had that feeling. And I think City are going to grab the equaliser by the looks of it, because they're just known to do that when they come from behind in a lot of games. And I just thought, this equaliser is definitely coming. If it's against another team, it may not possibly be. But because it is Manchester City, I'm thinking it is going to come. It's definitely going to come.
So you weren't shocked when Bernard... Was it more frustrating because it was like 1-2 sucker punch so quick and the 3-1 lead's gone?
Yeah, it was a little bit, I must admit. But again, it's what Man City are known to do in terms of their quality on the pitch. then you just know they're going to come back in a game when they're behind 9 times out of 10, aren't they?
So, Patrick, should we talk about the best midfielder in the world in Kevin De Bruyne? How does he get that ball to Bernardo? Tell me how he gets that ball so precise, bang, weighted straight to Bernardo, which, if you look, goes into Bernardo, cuts 2 or 3 defenders out. Bernardo turns on it, which gives Pope no chance at that point, and just 3 each.
You know what? As I said, Martin, earlier on when I was doing the stream, that if you're looking from the TV, it looks easy. Or when you're looking from the stands, you're like, that's easy. You know how it looks as if it's just easy.
Like
that
a tapping for Haaland.
Yeah, like it looks easy. Trust me, guys. I used to play football a long time ago. Those passes that have to have a certain weight to reach to your player, especially when you're next to the 18th box, like the pass that Foden did against Atletico Madrid. Remember when we were struggling, Foden did a small pass that reached in. Those passes are difficult because you have to get the weight right. If you don't get the weight of the ball right, guess what? It happens. It goes straight to the keeper or goes outside for a goal kick. So, my God, that time Newcastle were very sound defensively, and I'm pretty sure the defenders were like, how the hell did he do that? But let's also appreciate one thing. Silva. Did you check Silva's runs, what he was doing? Silva, first of all, went offside. De Bruyne still had the ball. Silva came back on side. He held the run for a while, and then De Bruyne hit the pass. My God, that pass is amazing. I don't know. I can't explain, Martin, but you need to have the right sort of technique and weight on the ball, because trust me, if you just do that, it might look as good, as easy to do. It will end up into Nick Pop's hands. But for it to just be slow and reach him, and between two, I want to ask Pete how when he saw that, was like, how did you feel? Because your defense was very great at that time, and for him to find that gap, that tiny gap between the two,
yeah. I mean, you're going to get that point where sometimes defenders will leave spaces it open at times, as well. But again, I think it's just what City are really good at on the pitch, as well in terms of their attack wise. I mean, it's just so deadly. It's just so deadly.
There's a lot of love for ASM, Pete. A lot of love, and Pope. So I mean, at the end of the day, 3 each. Fair result, probably. I mean, I've called this post-match game of 2 halves because I thought first half other than the goal, I thought you were outstanding, Pete. Your lot, and then second half. I think probably the 3-1 woke us up.
Mm-hmm.
Gave us a little bit of a kick up the arse that we probably needed.
Yep.
Because, but it will tell you what, find me a game in the last 2 years that's been as good as that. That was end-to-end stuff. That was like, I mean, I put it out on Twitter. I thought, is Kevin Keegan back as manager? Is he managing both teams there? I didn't know what I was watching. I thought Keegan was like, 1 half at Newcastle, 1 half at City. I thought we were right back. But I thought it was great entertainment. Great. I mean, Pete, where do you envision end of the season for you?
Somewhere hopefully in the top 10. I mean, I've gone for a 7th place finish. I think it's possible. I mean, we could do with probably still a couple of more signings through the door, but
are you expecting to be busy in the next 10 days?
Hopefully. I mean, there's something possibly going on in the background. I mean, Eddie Howe, he's not going to give too much away, so something could well be happening in the background. But I think Eddie Howe knows he does need those 2 extra players in through the door by the looks of it. But yeah, in terms of 7th place, I mean, the players are playing for Eddie Howe. They're listening to what he's doing. Where certainly the attacker-wise against the bigger teams, it's starting to work now. And I don't see why we can't look to try and aim somewhere or challenge for something this season now. Or a good cup run as well would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I've got you as 9th. I just think...
Fair play, no?
And it's only because of, I think a lot of teams above have strengthened.
Mhm.
And the trouble is, as much as Tottenham, Arsenal, Villa, West Ham, can't see West Ham staying down there forever, the quality they've got.
Mm.
But you just think to yourself, everyone's strengthened this summer. Everybody's sort of dipped in the market. And they're all fighting for the same spots. So we all can't stay in the same spot. Someone's got to slip somewhere.
Yep.
And that's why I thought 9th and then build on it. And then you build on that again next year. Because like I said, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 years for you to get to the spending level.
Oh, yeah, Will.
Going. And it's just got to be, I said it to you on yours, it's a slow build. But you know what? You enjoy the ride. You enjoy every single minute of it.
Yeah,
on, Patrick.
Yeah, I had them high. I have you guys higher. I actually think you guys that 6th and 7th spot might be yours because I was thinking for a minute when I was doing the Premier League prediction preview, I had you guys very high because I was like, you have to think about this, right? You are better than West Ham right now. You like last season, the form you had, I think you're actually more than third. You actually like second or first on the form chart that between this a certain period. So you didn't lose a lot of games. This is the draw. Then there was a game you lost, and that's it. It was us 5-0, I think so. But the rest were wins, draw, and this must be your second draw. I think you look better, more stable than West Ham, and you look better, more stable than Leicester City, and you also look better and more stable than Wolves. But Wolves are great. So I at the end of the day, you look better than Man United at this current moment in time. To be honest with you,
United aren't finished, Patrick.
No.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Finished.
Yeah, so
apparently the rumors are they're going to drop 200-300 million in the next 10 days. They are massively going out on a huge fee.
I doubt United are going to.
What the rumors is in Manchester is they are going on a massive spending spree.
No, the spending I'm okay, but I'm talking about the football. I'm talking about the football on the pitch. I think the football is going to take time to change. I think they will scrape a few games, but I think the other teams are more settled. Because Martin, look at this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
West Ham are now with Moyes for how long? For a while. Wolves look stable under the new manager. Leeds United look stable. It's on the Leicester City that are a bit iffy. Southampton, as bad as they might be. Yeah, so do you know what's going to happen? United is going to have to start beating these stable teams. Right now, Martin, as you see, no matter who they buy, with how they're trying to gel everybody, they're going to have to gel everybody in. Do you think if they go mid Newcastle, if they go mid Leeds United, Wolves, these stable teams, West Ham, they will be taken apart. They will be taken apart for now. But I doubt United will be. I think United have to accept a season like Chelsea when Chelsea finished 8th. Remember, Chelsea finished 8th and things are not great. But I think Newcastle have to be fighting because you guys, I think you can go to anybody right now and play your best. Yes, you will lose games, but I think you're better off than the time you had Steve Bruce.
See, the only reason is, Patrick, I'm struggling to drop out for Newcastle. Because Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, I do have United above you, not because I just think United will buy and they'll click eventually. And sadly, I do think they'll get going. Because I think in the next 10 days, Ronaldo will leave. And I think they'll get the poison out of the dressing room. But then you've got other teams. Wolves have just got Matheus Nunes. I'm surprised you didn't go for him, Pete. Nunes from Benfica. Sporting Lisbon. Was it Benfica? Sporting Lisbon, one of them anyway.
Sporting is from Sporting.
And you think to yourself, there's a chance you might get Paqueta out of Lyon.
I do.
I just listen. I hope you do finish 7th or 6th, but I'm just maybe being a bit too conservative with 9th. Does anyone change anything as in City challenging for the league because we've dropped 2 points? Does anyone else thought we were getting 114 points or whatever this year?
I think I've still got for City to still win the title.
Yeah. So have I. And nothing I've seen's changed. Nothing I've seen's changed. I just think I think people have got to give you credit, Pete. I'll just run through this and then we'll end it. Is Rob ever coming back? Rob's on a sabbatical at the moment. He's not too good. So we do wish him all the best. True Geordie's been there, and there's a lot of thing on True Geordie here, Pete. Apparently, people are against Newcastle because of True Geordie.
Well, I know, but you could say, look at how far he's got with this channel now. You could say, look who he's getting on. And
He's
all
not
of
had
that.
the best relationship with City fans, you say, because
uh,
pre takeover for you, we were cheats, we were everything else, and then changed his tune when you got taken over.
I think that's going to be over the top, like there, from what he's coming out with.
He did. He because I watched one and he said it's like having a FIFA cheat code, and it's boring and it's wrong. And I'm like, and then we're taking over. He was like, "Oh no, it's all right." And they're like, "Hang on, you changed your tune."
Yeah, I think he hanged himself. I think True Geordie, like I used to watch him a lot before the whole kickoff thing. Is before the whole kickoff thing, he used to have this other cheap, sort of I call it a sort of cheap and funny background. He never cared. You come in. That time he used to be fair, but he went to the kickoff and then he started saying, "Oh, these guys are cheats." I don't know if he was doing it for the cameras. These guys are cheats. But I sat there smiling in the background. I was like, "There's rumors that Saudi Arabia is about to buy you. So what are you gonna say when you buy and you have a limitless speed of money?" And you're going to go the same thing. Now he changed. His demeanor has changed. Now he says, "Oh, well, it's not our fault that we got bought." But I was like, yeah, it's not also City's fault that they got bought by somebody else. So I think that's where City fans are not with him. I think that's why they're on his neck, because at first he was calling us cheats, saying somebody mustn't have all that money. But now Newcastle is doing well. He's saying, yeah, we deserve this. But also City fans also deserve it. Like, that's why you have to be careful what you say, because later on in life, people hold you accountable for it. That's basically what's happening.
City fans are like elephants, Pete. We don't forget. And you know what it is, Pete? I said it to you the other day. It's something you'll get. The people who will attack Newcastle fans, and you stick together.
Oh yeah,
and get through it, because you'll hear some awful things said about you, and anything you win will be discredited within seconds. So don't ever think you'll never get the "we love Newcastle, they're the best team in the world" sort of love. You'll never get that, because they'll say you cheated to get it.
Oh no, we just wanted a new owner.
You ain't actually gone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just wanted Mike Ashley and his other stuff out of the football club. We just wanted some ambition that this club was missing for the past 14 years. I mean, it was just torrid under Mike Ashley, not in terms of like lack of investment, but what he's also done. For example, you don't change St James's Park to the Sports Direct Arena after it's been St James's Park from the very beginning.
No, not when it's no.
The bloke he only wanted because to advertise his companies and use us as a cash cow. For example, Sports Direct.
There you go.
Is one of them.
Well, Pete, here's the thing. Yusuf's our resident Liverpool fan. He likes to come on the channel. And we like a bit of banter with him, but he's just said, "Hey, don't mind Newcastle, but in 3 years I won't like them." And that's the thing. We were everyone's second club. Or everyone wants City to win an FA Cup, but now they don't want us to win. Now they don't want us to catch a cold. It's awful. Great vlog. Thank you all. Cheers. Yeah. So, yeah, that ends Newcastle United 3, Manchester City 3. Big thank you to Pete for coming on. Much appreciated.
Very much go over
and give his channel PD Proudlock a view and a like and a subscribe. Description in the thing. And hopefully Pete will get you back on for the reverse fixture over at our place.
Yes, definitely. It'd be a real pleasure. Again to come back on.
Yeah. And then there's Patrick, who's a fellow City.
Oh, you've muted there, Martin.
I'm sorry. Who does a couple of channels now, does True City Fan, and he's got a brand new channel, Football and Chills, which is a bit more generic football, isn't it, Patrick, and gathering that one?
Yeah, it is, Martin, because I was doing the whole football and chill every Wednesday on the True City Fan channel, and guess what? It never went so well, because when I invite a panel, Pete, of people from other teams, and they are not biased towards City. Things were not going well in the comments. So I say, you know what? I think it's about time to take this show away from the City content and just make a show where it's just chilled. We can just jump anywhere. Martin can come in, Pete can come in, everybody can come in and have their opinion, and it won't be held accountable. So that's why I decided to pick. So it's 4 days old channel. It's doing well. It's already on 50. It's going towards already the 100 mark, which is great. So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, and please give a like and a subscribe to the Union Way. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please, that'd be amazing. But give these, and even to Vader as well, who dropped off earlier. Like I said, he was in the car trying to get out the Canadian border, no doubt, or wherever he was going. I don't know where he was actually going, but please give Vader some love. You're sure he'll be back again. You will see Patrick again, and we're even going to get somebody else on in a week, maybe for a very interesting stream I've got with Rich. So I'm going to get some financials done. And I think you all know the guy I mean from Patrick's channel. So go head to head with Rich. Should be a cracker. And we've got many, many guests coming up. But please keep your notifications on. Make sure you know when we're live. And we'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Everyone in the comments, big thank you. City didn't win, but we're still undefeated. Take care. And we'll see you very soon.